I don't know either.
Let's get into the next ad.
Yeah, this ad was sent by Chase Cameron Wood. It's guitars, 360, PS3, Wii U, PS2. $250. Have so many guitars I need to get rid of. I am open to offers. Must take all of it. I'm unsure what all goes to which, but the possibilities seem endless, lol. The boxes contain guitars as well. I have some huge totes and containers you can have as well to move it all. Very motivated to sell. The first issue that I have is I've been using totes as short for totally for so long that when I read it when I saw totes, I was like, huge totalies? What?
Huge totalies.
I have some huge totes my goats.
This is a lot of game controllers and games here. Like, what do you think the original retail value of all this is? Thousands of dollars, easily.
Oh, yeah, there's what, 24? So if you figure like...
Well, he said there's guitars in the boxes too. I assumed the guitars were out of the boxes. So there's 28?
Oh, geez.
29 guitars? We're looking at...
I think there's 31 total pieces of, like 31 total pseudo instruments.
For $250. So you're getting in like $6 or $7 per instrument per game.
It looks like there's 13 game boxes. So like 13 games and 29 instruments. One is the keytar. One is the turntable. I was going to say the record player.
Close enough.
One is a keytar and the other one is a gramophone.
This is a lot. Do you think this person collected these because they were playing them all? Like, just kept progressing to different games? Or do you think it's like a swap meet deal where they were like a dealer or something?
I'm not sure. This is like... I don't know how to process this. Because some of them, I'm sure... Like, some of them are more stylized, so like it might be like if you got the Beatles edition, then that's how you end up with like the Hofner bass.
Well, he's got two of the Hofner basses.
He also has two Telecasters in different colors. There's a Rickenbacker one, which I wonder if that maybe was also part of like a Beatles.
I think it was
like the Beatles game.
There's an Aerosmith.
I think
one?
there's an Aerosmith one. I want to know what this pink heart one, what that is part of. That's kind of interesting.
I think he's got two of the Aerosmith ones too. Yeah, that back one is the same Aerosmith one again.
Okay. I don't know a lot about Rock Band, Guitar Hero, whatever. I don't know. I've seen these pretty cheap on like Craigslist.
Yeah, they give them away.
But
now.
at the same time, at $250, you're talking about less than $10 each. And I think usually when I see those on Craigslist pretty cheap, like it doesn't come with the game, it's just the controller.
Yeah.
So
who would want to buy all of this though? Like, this is a ridiculous thing to buy all at once, unless you are someone who sees a flip in like a garage sale or like swap meet sort of way.
No, I think that's what it is you have to either like be meticulous enough to sell them all, or you have to be like another person at like this person had all this stuff, took it all to the swap meet, couldn't unload it, so now they're just trying to unload it all at once.
Do you remember when like
somebody else
all this stuff was going on? Like, Guitar Hero was like the biggest game in the world, and being on guitar forums and groups and stuff, people were just bitching and moaning about it. It's like, oh, if these kids just learned how to play real guitar, then like rock and roll wouldn't be dying, and this and that and blah blah blah. And it's like that like level of of complaining. And like, here we are 10 years later, 15 years later, something like that.
Yeah.
We're like, no one plays these games anymore, and they're giving them away. And guitar is, you know, the people are selling tons of real guitars. People are playing real instruments still.
I think they just came out with a new one. But for the most part,
it's not nearly as popular as it was.
The idea, we were, I mean, for a long stretch, 10, 12 years ago, we were probably getting invited to like 3 or 4 rock band parties like a summer.
We were young and single, had lots of friends that were throwing parties, and rock band was like part of all of them. Like we had friends who would bring like their full band, rock band rig, the drums.
You know why I don't
multiple
you
guitars,
know why I don't
the
like Rock
bass.
Band?
Why? I don't know what's about to happen. Wait. Are you gonna sing?
You know what song this is, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I do a pretty good, like, passable, like I could be in an Oasis cover band, right?
Yeah. Pretty close.
I played that song on Rock Band and failed the level.
We had a friend that was so good at playing Rock Band drums. They're like, dude, you should really, like in a non like angry old person way, but in like, dude, you should probably actually just get a drum kit.
I think the Rock Band drums were actually like almost like as close to an analog of an actual drum set.
Right. Because you're using a kick pedal and you're using a floor tom and two high toms.
Yeah. But
and a snare.
I just thought it was hilarious that like there were a handful of songs on Rock Band that were harder in the game than they were. I was sitting there, I was like, I could teach you, the person who has never played guitar before, how to play this song at a passable level, and you would master that with me teaching you that faster than I would master the video game version of this song.
Yeah. It's way easier to learn the songs on guitar than it is to learn,
I think,
like the hard level on GarageBand or whatever.
So you know, GarageBand has like 5 buttons, and I think on the hardest version of that song on GarageBand, you have to use all 5 buttons, but there's only 4 chords.
Steve is all wound up over this. Yeah, but with a chord, you have to use like 3 or 4 fingers at a time.
That's true. Those cowboy chords.
And you have to spend the time developing that skill, which takes...
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like the barrier to entry is much smaller with a video game versus actual guitar and actually playing in an actual band.
I just thought it was really dumb that I was like, oh, I should be good at this, and I wasn't. My favorite thing to do on any of those games was to be the vocalist.
Yeah, it was like fun karaoke.
Yeah.
I wonder if the success of those games pushed us into where we are now, where
karaoke is cool.
No, like there are so many instruments on the market, and young people are still playing music. Like maybe it would have been much worse without GarageBand 10 years ago. You know, like maybe it did influence like a generation of people to like, you know, maybe I should like try an actual guitar.
I do think it probably at the least exposed a lot of people to
the music,
a generation of music,
like guitar-based music,
or genres of music that they wouldn't have otherwise been exposed to. And so maybe like as a society as a whole, we were a little more well-rounded musically. Maybe, I don't know. That's being like,
we might still
a little optimistic,
be too close to it now in this time in history, but I could
someday scientists will look back at this period and recognize it as a new musical renaissance.
No, I'm saying like I could see like in the next 10 years someone making a documentary about all the bands that became bands because the people in them learned, or like were inspired to play musical instruments because they were playing video games. Why not?
Because it's weird.
I mean, I learned to play guitar because I, saw a friend play, like Nirvana riffs. I'm like, oh, that looks easy. And then I cut my teeth playing like Green Day songs that I don't like anymore.
That's different than, I picked up the guitar because I saw my friend playing a video game where he played a thing that was sort of a plastic 5-button version of a guitar.
Well, it's the same thing as like the generation previous to ours. Like, how many people do you know that are Pac-Man because they played Pac-Man? I mean, I can't count on one hand.
Yeah, at least like
most of our parents were Pac-Man thanks to Pac-Man.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. All right.